I might have to show my face today too.
You better. This is HeKnows HisSport, bringing you that heat and that fire. We keeping the foot on the what? On the X. We keeping the foot on the what? On the X. And like the Tibetan mastiff that I am, I'm applying what? Unlimited pressure. Because pressure does what? It bursts his pipes. We got a KD and a LeBron fan in the building. How can you be both a KD and LeBron fan? Yeah, we're going to get on your Rudy Point Plum Plum Brain ass. We're going to get on your classic Dalton Troglodyte ass. We're going to get on your ultra fanboy with the ultra fanboy rhetoric ass. Because you can't be a KD fan and be a LeBron fan. Me and Richy Rich was talking about this bullshit and this fuck shit. Richy Rich, Biggie came out with a song that's called Party and Bullshit and Party and Bullshit. Remember that? Party and Bullshit.
Yeah.
And Party and Bullshit. Well, guess what? HeKnows HisSport remixed it into a bullshit but gets fuck shit. And bullshit but gets fuck shit. Bullshit but gets fuck shit. And bullshit but gets fuck shit. KD and LeBron fan, that is some bullshit and that is some fuck shit. You can't be a KD fan and be a LeBron fan at the same time. HeKnows HisSport is a final authority on basketball because HeKnows HisSport ethered and murked the supposed final authority on basketball. Got ethered and fucking murked. You bark up the HeKnows HisSport tree, the HeKnows HisSport tree will fall on you, though. Like Jay-Z said, I'm not looking at you, dude. I'm looking past you. This is what these Rudy Point Plum Plum brains, classic Dolce Troglodytes, ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetoric don't get. HeKnows HisSport is like Robin Hood, man. I give hope to the hopeless. I told y'all, cast all y'all beefs this way. Cast all y'all can mans this way. Jalik been telling y'all, man, can't nobody give you the gift of gab, the wordplay, the hyperboles, the intelligent factor like a HeKnows HisSport. Because I'm bringing you that what? That heat and that fire. And I'm keeping the foot on the what? On the next. I'm keeping the foot on the what? On the next. This motherfucker RB the wherever the fucking breakthrough, I don't give a flying fuck whoever it is. Try to think you can bark up the HeKnows HisSport tree. The HeKnows HisSport tree will fall on your ass. You can't come after HeKnows and not be ready. And this is the thing about it, Richy Rich. You're going to laugh. Delete, you're going to laugh because you guys want to see the cachet. You want to see the HeKnows HisSport's ability to flex a muscle. I was ethering and murking this cat all while I was at work, juggling work. Could you imagine if he had my full attention? I gave him basically 5% of attention. Could you imagine if I gave him full, all-out attention? It would have been done and over with, man. Motherfucker would have been ethered and completely murked, completely sliced. You see, what you guys have to understand is stop falling for the cult-like followings, man. Stop falling for these Rudy Poo and Plum Plum brains. Stop falling for these classic Dolce Troglodytes. Stop falling for these ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetoric. Because that's what they give you, pandering narratives. And what did HeKnows HisSport tell you? Pandering narratives has a ceiling cap. Once it goes up, woo, that motherfucker must come tumbling down. Let me say it again. Once it goes up, woo, that motherfucker must come tumbling down. Because all the way that you kill pandering narratives is with a cold-hearted, unadulterated, and cutthroat truth-telling fashion. And that's what you do. You kill it with that ether. You kill it with that shit that make your soul burn slow. And that's what we did over here. I'm the etherer. I'm the murker. And I'm the napalmer. Let me say it again. I'm the etherer. I'm the murker. And I'm the napalmer. So anyone needs to get ethered, bring their ass over here. Anyone needs to get murked, bring their rabbit ass over here. Anyone that needs to be named the fucking palmed, bring their rabbit ass over here. Richy Rich can tell you, boy, because I'm about to throw the alley-oop his way. Richy Rich, tell them. They don't understand. You YouTube dodo heads, you guys are not on my level. I've dealt with the most highest levels of basketball when I had to argue up against the likes of Richy Rich and Big Dave. Salute to you, Double Dragons, True Alpha, Tom Ross TV. You guys can't even compare to that shit, man. And no, So High 34, Skip has not tricked me. Skip can't even see me even on his best fucking day. See, this is what the problem with you guys don't understand. I don't follow nobody. I follow HeKnows HisSport. I don't get summoned. I summon. I'm not the motherfucker that bends the proverbial fucking knee. I make motherfuckers bend the proverbial fucking knee. And like they do with the Pope, kiss the fucking ring while you at it. Because in this most cold-hearted, unadulterated, And Cutthroat Truth Teller Fashion is as simple as this. When we sit here and we look at basketball, HeKnows HisSport is the final authority. Put me up against anybody, though. You put me in the dungeon with the lion, and like the biblical Daniel, I will fend, though. That's what you guys have to understand. You put me in that den, I will fend. And what you guys have to understand is when we think of basketball, we have to ask ourselves, cold-hearted, unadulterated, and Cutthroat Truth Teller Fashion, what is it? Kevin Durant owns LeBron James, unquestionably, emphatically, and without fail. And while I was sitting there juggling work, getting Rudy Point Plum Plum Brain response, getting classic Golden Trogoldite response, getting ultra fanboy with the ultra fanboy rhetoric response, I couldn't help but to laugh my ass off because I said, you just like the fact that I said that Kevin Durant owns LeBron James 67 percentile in the NBA Finals, 70 percentile completely in the NBA playoffs where legends are made. So if you're 2 out of 3 out of somebody, what percentage is that? 67%, your Rudy Ford and your plum brain. If you're 9 out of 13 out of somebody in the NBA playoffs where legends are made, where it happens, where it matters the most, that's a 70 percentile. Your classic Dolce and your troglodytes. So how does Kevin Durant not own LeBron James? See, my job is to keep the proverbial foot on the fucking necks. Then that's exactly what I'm going to do. Keep the proverbial foot on the lion's fucking foot on the giraffe's neck. Because you guys have to remember, Kevin Durant ran LeBron James' ass roughshod. You see, when you have people like this and this nonsense that KD and DeMar DeRozan are on the same level, how? DeMar DeRozan is a guy that got traded from the Toronto Raptors because he couldn't get the job done. They needed Kawhi Leonard to come in so that Kawhi Leonard could get the job done. So what are you talking about? You dodo fucking head. This is the problem with LeBron tards. You want to know what LeBron tards mean? It is LeBron fans and retardation mixed together. Retardation and LeBron James have found each other. They've become best friends. Like Bane told Batman, they were born in it. They were molded by it, and hence they are created and therefore and thereby called LeBron tards because they are retarded in the way that they think. And it's because neuro-linguistic programming has fucked and warped their heads up. They don't have no neuron receptors firing and clicking on all cylinders because they can't reason effectively. If you are a LeBron tard, you are a mediocre NBA fan because you like mediocrity. LeBron James is all about mediocrity. He's a guffer folk, greatest finals failure of all time. And y'all gonna sit here and tell me that LeBron James is that dude? He is a loser. This man has went to 10 NBA finals and won 4. And y'all gonna sit here and tell me that he's justified? LeBron James at another end is not also that. He is the guy that created this whole nonsense that you can just get with a top 3 player. You can get with a top 10 player. You can go out there and you could create basketball teams. This is what LeBron James has done. So when people say, well, Kevin Durant played with the Golden State Warriors, LeBron James played with Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade was a top 3 player right there with him and Kobe Bryant. Did you guys forget that? Chris Bosh was a top 10 player. This is what LeBron James played with. And then when LeBron couldn't even get it done and he was 2 out of 4, 50%, which is so lame. Because remember, what did he tell us, Richy Rich? Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, not 10. And I wouldn't have told you if this wasn't the case. This came out of LeBron tard's mouth, the fraud James mouth, that he would go in there and get us 7 or more rings. Couldn't even fucking get that done. And y'all got the nerve to say that this guy right here is the greatest of all time. That's why MJ the other day laughed at his ass and called his ass the greatest of all fucking trolls. If there's anything about LeBron James' legacy that is reminiscent, is LeBron James knows how to lose. You can bank your dollar that LeBron will teach you how to lose. Yes, if I want to learn how to lose some shit, I will watch LeBron James. If I want to learn losing at its highest levels, I will watch LeBron James. If I want to understand how you can gaff up a loss in so many variations, so many different facets, and so many different forms, I will watch LeBron James. How is Chris Bosh an average star? See, this is where people don't understand what they're talking about. Do you not understand PER? Do you even know what that is? Go look up the PER with Chris Bosh is in the lineup with LeBron James or Dwayne Wade or him by himself. Chris Bosh was an X factor. Chris Bosh was an X factor extraordinaire on so many different epic levels and epic proportions. You don't even understand how he saved the Miami Heat's ass. Why do you think LeBron James loved his ass in the pick and pop? Do you even fucking know what the pick and pop is? Oh, my bad. I'm dealing with people that's basketball 303 lane and less. See, the bottom line is this. LeBron James has gotten all the fucking help, all the cherries on top. And here's the caveat before I throw the alley-oop Richy Rich's way. Check this out, Richy Rich. LeBron James had an NBA bubble title. LeBron James had the stacking of the cards of the decks, and you know he almost lost to Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler in an injury-plagued Miami Heat team. Woo! Like Ric Flair say, styling and profiling. Woo! You can't make this shit up. He almost lost. Jimmy Butler, Jimmy Buckets, was able to push this motherfucker to 6 games in an NBA bubble title, i.e. virtual reality title, like the movie Ready Player One. You take off your virtual reality goggles, and guess what? You have to come back to fucking reality. LeBron James played in a least path of resistance NBA title, a fraudulent, fluky, on-the-spot NBA title. And guess what, Richy Rich? He almost fucked that shit up. This is why I'm telling you, when LeBron James does have his the last dance, he needs to teach me how you can almost fuck up or actually fuck up in so many ways. Because LeBron James, when it's all said and done, LeBron James is what he is, a guffo, greatest finals failure of all time. Richy Rich, boom, alley-oop your way, man. Talk to us, bro.
Man, these dudes, man, on this chat, man, they tripping, man. They a whole trip. They trolls. And I mean, you going in on them. Now it's time for me to go on in on these dudes. See it. Come on, man. So high talking about Kevin Durant would any average star would be able to win with Golden State. That's false, because who stepped up when Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson were choking their asses off in those series, giving Cleveland the opportunity to come in and get back into the series? Who stepped up? It was KD. KD didn't just go to that team. He wasn't along for the ride. That man was the alpha of that team, man. He went over there and he left his imprint. He left his stamp on that team. Look what happened in their third time going to the championship. They couldn't get it done without Kevin Durant, right? Raptors were able to beat them in 6 games. If Kevin Durant was on that floor, there's no way they lose. You already saw for those 11 minutes that Kevin Durant graced that court, nobody was able to guard this man. Even with a calf strain that led to his Achilles injury, this man was out here giving everybody buckets, man. Kevin Durant is not no average star, man. Let's not be stupid here. Let's not be asinine here. Let's not be absurd here, man. Kevin Durant is the best player, man, before that injury. Let's not, come on, man. You stop, chill with that trolling. Kevin Durant is the best player. There's no player that's as offensively skilled. There's no one in the NBA that makes it look as easy as scoring as Kevin Durant. Okay? Not even LeBron James. Let's be serious now. Don't talk foolish stuff like that. I'm not even a Kevin Durant fan like that, but I know when I see the best, and Kevin Durant is the best player. Let's be serious here. Let's talk facts. Okay? Also, let's go in a little on LeBron James about how this guy's getting credit of him teaming with for the past decade, teaming with the best of the best players that he can team up to win championships. Why is this guy getting all this credit? Why is he getting all this credit? You talking about somebody mentioned that, okay, they were doing this in the 80s. No, they weren't. People weren't being called the best players in the game and go and ring chasing. Who was being called the best player in the 80s, and then they take a route and they want to ring chase to win rings because they think they can't do it on their own. They got to go team up with the best players in the NBA to go win. Name me one guy that was doing that in the 80s that was being called the best player in the game. They were calling this man the best player in the game when Kobe was still there winning championships. It was a disrespect to Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace. They're calling LeBron James the best player in the game, but yet he's not. He can't even get to a finals and win one. But yeah, he's the best player in the game because he's winning what, 60 games. But yeah, he's getting exposed when he plays against a real team, and they bounce his ass out of the postseason. But yeah, he's the best player in the game. It doesn't make sense. This guy, we gotta call it what it is for what it is. Kevin Durant is a special player because he can go into a system like Golden State Warriors, still allow Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson to be the same players, uninterrupted by Kevin Durant's game, and Kevin Durant is still able to put up same numbers, be just as efficient, and not affect those two guys' game. If LeBron would have teamed up with those two guys, he would have ruined their games. Stephen Curry wouldn't be able to be Stephen Curry. Klay Thompson wouldn't be able to be Klay Thompson. Those guys took about the same amount of shots because Kevin Durant is a special player. He's the type of player, he doesn't need that many shots to be as efficient. He can be efficient taking about 15 to 16 shots, still be a 50, 40, 90, as HeKnows says, walking gazelle. He can still do that. He don't need to spam the shots and take away from what those other guys are able to do best, and pretty much make a team suffer to his system. Kevin Durant, he's a plug and play. You could put him in any system. I can't say that for LeBron James. It's his system or not. That's how it is. And if you don't run his system, what happens? You get traded. Now, if LeBron James won with Lonzo Ball, Jason Hart, Brandon Ingram, okay, then his championship that he won with the Lakers would have had merit. What did he do? Yep. This man was out here trying to get these guys traded before the trade deadline. He was trying to, once we saw that his agency, Clutch Sports, was bringing on Anthony Davis to their agency, Anthony Davis fired his agent, and then he hired Rich Paul as his agent, and then he joined Clutch Sports. We already knew what the deal was. They were going to try to make that move for AD. And it was the rumor throughout the whole season. And all those, LeBron James pretty much ruined the chemistry on that team. Those guys knew they were on their way out. And LeBron, he got Anthony Davis, but he just didn't acquire Anthony Davis. He was able to, he already had Rajon Rondo. He went and got Dwight Howard. He went and got Danny Green, guys who have some pedigree. Danny Green has championship pedigree. Dwight Howard at least been to the finals. He's won multiple Defensive Player of the Year awards. He made sure he got. It's the same thing that they were trying to go at Kobe with in the past. Oh, you see Kobe? He had Andrew Bynum, Paul Gasol, Lamar Odom. He had 3 7-footers. But look how LeBron had to win this Mickey Mouse bubble title. He needed bigs, right? But yet he had bigs that were able to rebound and defend at a higher level than Paul Gasol, Andrew Bynum, and Lamar Odom on his team. How come people weren't saying that about LeBron? You see the hypocrisy? They go at certain players, but yet LeBron James, especially these butt boys, they turn their eyes, man. They don't.
You talking about LeBron James booty boy?
Booty boys. They don't want. It's hypocrisy. Like, they're so unbiased. They don't want to call their player out. This man won. He had 3 7-footers on his team that were able to defend at a higher level than Gasol, Bynum, and Odom. He had Anthony Davis, JaVale McGee, and Dwight Howard. This is why they were able to be so good defensively. They had bigs that were able to shut down the paint.
Facts.
Lock up the paint and make sure they got second chance opportunities or eliminate a team from having second chance opportunities. This is how LeBron was able to win that bubble title. He had all the bigs on his side. Every team that they played in that bubble postseason, they were bigger than every team. Anthony Davis had 6'6", 6'7", 6'8" guys guarding him. It's the reason why he was so unstoppable. He had I remember the teams that they had he had PJ Tucker matching up against him. And in the Denver series, in the Nuggets series, who was playing him? I remember seeing Carmelo Anthony play him.
Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo Anthony. They had it was just they were just overmatched every time. He had the matchup every time. When they played the Nuggets, he had Paul Millsap guarding him. When they played the Heat, he had Jay Crowder. This is why, Anthony Davis is a talented player, but I'm not truly sold on him because he had the favorable matchup every time that he was able to take advantage of. Now, if he was able to face somebody his size, as agile as him, around the same height, like we saw in the regular season when they just started those games, I remember Pascal Siakam. Pascal Siakam was around the same height as Anthony Davis. This dude locked up Anthony Davis because he's pretty much the same build as Anthony Davis. He's quicker, faster. He can defend Anthony Davis. When Anthony Davis has guys like that on him, his numbers are not that great. But yet when he has undersized guys guarding him, he's able to take advantage of it. Now let's not take away from AD. They played who he played. Listen, if you have an opponent that you play and that's who they throw on you, hey, you're going to take advantage. You're going to eat. So I'm not going to take away the boy dominated. He did his thing. But let's not act like, that, the Lakers didn't have a favorable matchup because they did. LeBron James, the Miami Heat, how the hell, like HeKnows brought up, how the hell would a Miami Heat able to take 6 games, push that Lakers team to 6 games with Dragic and Bam Adebayo pretty much out the majority of the series?
That's called Richy Rich. It's the things that make you say, It's the things that make you say, It's what Shaq said, fraudulent, fluky, on the spot NBA title. It's what HeKnows HisSport said. Least path of resistance NBA title. And it's what Scottie Pippen said. It's an NBA fucking pickup game. Go ahead, bruh.
So high. Jordan played 15 seasons, right? But isn't it so great that he won 6 championships? He was able to dominate. Remember, he took a year and a half off. Imagine if Jordan didn't take that year off. Jordan probably would have had 7 championships, man. Just think about that. Or 8 championships in 15 seasons, man. Just think about that. LeBron James is in year 17 and he only has 4 titles to show for it. And he had to change teams 3 times. Did Jordan have to change teams constantly? Why do you guys keep lowering the bar, man? I don't get y'all. Y'all LeBron fans are numb nuts, man. Y'all keep lowering the bar. It don't make sense. Jordan raised the bar at the highest of levels. Y'all just mad because y'all idol can't raise he can't get to that level, man. You guys keep discounting. It's like you discount check. That's what it's all about. Stop discounting this thing, man. We've already seen basketball at the highest of levels, man.
Damn, they're highest.
These players can't reach that plateau. Even Kobe's level was high. These guys can't reach that plateau. They gotta constantly keep pick and choose what team they gotta play on. Man, I can't get it done on this team, man. I gotta go to the next thing, and I gotta see who I'm gonna team up with. If I don't team up with the right guy, I ain't gonna win. That's LeBron's thing, man. This man is scared. He's scared of his perception. That's what it is. It's all about perception with LeBron. He doesn't want to be known as a loser. That's why his career is being mapped out like this. He's constantly trying to scheme. Jordan was not a schemer, man. He let all the chips fall where they laid, man. This one, you're a true alpha on the court. Okay, this is what I got. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna win with it. LeBron ain't that type. He can't go out there and win with what he got. Kobe Bryant, the same dude. He went out there and won with what he had. This is what we call true great players, true pantheon of great players. That's your problem is y'all keep dumbing this crap down. Y'all don't realize it. LeBron is not a pantheon of great because he's cheated the game. He took shortcuts. Okay? I'm trying to drop knowledge here, bro. LeBron is a shortcut taker. When we see a shortcut taker, we can't put him on the same level with Jordan. Jordan was not a shortcut taker. You guys are trying to dilute the game. You're trying to downgrade the game, putting a shortcut taker on the same level with Jordan like that. It doesn't make any sense. LeBron ushered in this new era of guys cheating the system, teaming up with the best guys to win, man. What is this? This is competition. We watch this game to see competitors. LeBron is not a competitor. Let's and I'm done, man.
And I just want to say this one thing because Tom Ross is right. Richy Rich is on fire, but I got to say this. Do you want to know why LeBron tards? You want to know why LeBron tards are so protective of LeBron James? Is because LeBron James represents what they are. Participation award recipients. You know what that means? They are mediocre as fuck individuals. So mediocrity begets mediocrity. So they have to protect their mediocrity. Boom. Alley-oop threw that your ass, Jalik. What you got to say?
Yeah, welcome everybody in the chat. Your boy, Jaliktheleader. I got a question. I'm asking questions today. Starting with you, he knows his sports. Can you explain how Michael Jordan had a 1-9 playoff record before Pippen?
So you asking me the question?
Yeah. Why did he have a 1-9 playoff record before Pippen?
All right. Now you ask me the question. Hey, hush, and let me answer the question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna answer it. This is what you guys have to understand about basketball. Michael Jordan didn't have Scottie Pippen up until 1987. Didn't have Phil Jackson up until 1988. So when you say 1 for 9, technically you gotta push it out to 1 for 2. Because if you don't have the fullness of what your team was supposed to look like in their dominant variation, then you can't sit there and say that Michael Jordan from year 1 out, that had to play with a coach that wasn't even a Doug Collins. Do you realize Doug Collins came in a few years in? Michael Jordan went through a few basketball coaches. Any basketball player that has to go through a few basketball coaches, that will fuck with you. And then on top of that, the Chicago Bulls didn't have an identity. And let's not forget, the Chicago Bulls was the worst basketball team, or one of the worst basketball teams, until Michael Jordan showed up. They were in the gutter. Michael Jordan came in and literally uplifted them. They didn't have nobody but Michael Jeffrey Jordan. So when you want to say 1 for 9, with what? What did he have? Michael Jordan didn't have anything until Scottie Pippen showed up in 1987. And then Phil Jackson showed up in 1988, and they were able to cultivate a Bulls-like following. That's when they were cultivating their team. So if you want to judge Michael Jordan on the clock, you need to start judging it from 1988, not 1984 when Michael Jordan showed up on the scene. So,
okay,
80 fucking gosh.
So what are some seasons? So based on your the way you broke it down, what are some seasons that you can take off of LeBron's record? Are there a couple finals that you can take away since you just
no, because you're talking about NBA finals. NBA finals. Hold up. I'm gonna answer your question. NBA finals, you can't take nothing away from NBA finals. The result is what it is. NBA finals is like when you pee in the bathroom. It's permanency. Once you let it go, you can't get it back. So that's what NBA finals is. Okay. I'm not done yet. Okay. NBA finals is like Wiz Khalifa. Once you get that whiz out, you can't take it back. So when you're talking about NBA finals, that's a completely different argument than the NBA playoffs. Because the NBA playoffs, you're not losing a final situation. Why do you think they call it NBA finals? Because it is a final. This is the final dance. This is where you're at the end. So because this is where you're at the end, this is what is going to judge itself at the highest levels. When you listen to casual NBA fans, do they tell you, oh, I remember what happened in the first and the second round of basketball play? No, they tell you what happens in the NBA finals. So you can't erase what LeBron James did in the NBA finals. He is what he is, a guffaw, greatest finals failure of all time. Now, NBA playoffs, you have another year to redo what you did in the NBA playoffs. That's a different dichotomy. That's a different argument because it's not final. It is carry weight, way more than the regular season, but it ain't the NBA finals. So again, ask me another question so I can eat through and murk it.
Okay, so you think it's acceptable to punish people that had more success than the person that didn't make the finals?
What are you talking about? You don't make no sense.
Make the finals, and then you're not another guy that, unless he has his savior, just like you said, his savior, Phil Jackson, and Phil Jackson and Scottie. Why is it that the person who actually done better and achieved more success, you on a different scale? Like, why is that? Why does
first of all, Phil Jackson is nobody. First of all, Phil Jackson is nobody's savior. If you know how basketball works, see, this is the problem with basketball. No, hold on, Jalik. You ask your question. When you ask your questions, higgity fucking hush and get your damn answers. You're talking about a savior. There's no such thing as saviors. Do you guys realize that basketball is a team sport? Light him up the bomb one. I have to pull his stuff up earlier because you guys are just Rudy Poo and plum brains. Nobody gets this shit done by themselves. I don't care, even if you Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Basketball is a team sport. This ain't boxing. You cover boxing, you cover basketball. This is the problem with you LeBron tards. You guys cannot sit here and give justifications. You got to give outliers. So you can't tell us the truth. So when it's all said and done, here you go. Light them up the bomb. No one player can take a team to the finals. Everybody else bums. It don't happen. Facts. Basketball is a team sport. Did you guys even understand that? Even at the elementary level, basketball is a team sport. That's what it is at its truest and its most properest levels, at its most elementary form. Okay, it's a team sport. I'm not done yet because I got to eat their mercury. I'm not done yet. You said, why didn't he do anything when he had his savior? LeBron James had Dwayne Wade. He had Pat Riley. LeBron did not win until he had them because basketball is all about having the sum of all parts. Remember, He Knows His Sport schooled you on that? Basketball is a hierarchy, option 1, option 2, and the sum of all parts. You need all of that to be in a synergistic mode. That's what you need. So Jordan didn't have that in those years that he couldn't get it done. There wasn't the hierarchy from 84 all the way up to 88. It wasn't looking right. LeBron James, it damn sure was never damn near looking right for his ass. Because you know why it was damn sure not looking right for LeBron James' ass? Because LeBron James didn't know how to humble his damn self into the fact that he had a coach. And you know who it is, Richy Rich? Tell his ass. Silas. You remember Paul Silas with the Cleveland Cavaliers? Yeah. That was a hell of a fucking coach. If LeBron James didn't get out of his own LeBron James mind and realize what he had, because they act like they didn't have a coach, this guy would have coached LeBron James to way greater than what he was able to do. Because Paul Silas was a real fucking basketball coach. Do your research on him. LeBron didn't listen to him. He ended up into the bullshit that he ended up in. And guess what ended up happening? He had to realize after failure, oh shit, I got to fall my ass up under Pat Riley. So when you sit here and say Phil Jackson, then who the fuck is Pat Riley for LeBron James? Again, higgity fucking hush. Come with another one. Bring your little outliers and I'll shoot them motherfuckers down.
How many saviors have LeBron had? If those were Jordan's saviors.
I'm asking y'all a question. So, so you get the grade on the curve. It's all good. And
no, I don't get a grade on the curve. I get a flat line grade because you brought a question and it keeps getting chopped up like chop suey. Even KD and LeBron fan had to say he knows his sports because they know I know my shit.
We talking about a whole career. You can't just tell nobody like in boxing. You can't say Tarver beat Roy Jones twice. He's the greatest because Roy Jones was the greatest. You got to look at the totality of his career. Fights against.
What does boxing have to do with basketball? This is a bad outlier. Don't compare those sports. You're talking about an individualized sport with a team sport. Jalik, you're drowning right now. You're drowning. Richy Rich, what did you say? What did you say, Richy Rich? You said how many saviors did LeBron James have? Break his ass down with that shit.
Oh, y'all
keep mentioning it. He keep going in on Jordan about Jordan saviors. Phil Jackson has had. How many saviors have LeBron had? Come on, man. You don't be a hypocrite, Jalik.
There you go.
Asking your questions. You're not.
There you go. There you go.
Now, answer that man's question.
There you go.
If this guy is so good, he scored 63 points and they still lost and they still got swept. And here's the guy that's supposed to be better than the Akron boy. What's up with that? What's the reason for that?
First of all, the Akron boy went to the NBA Finals. Akron boy, hold on. Let me give you a little history line on the Akron boy. No, I gotta give you a little history line. Higgity hush. Hey, Jalik, you back on the leash. Higgity hush. Akron boy, 2007, lost to the San Antonio Spurs. I don't want to hear that. That was his first NBA Finals. I don't want to hear that bullshit and that fuck shit because when Kevin Durant got robbed of the free throw line over Joel fucking Anthony in 2012. Y'all said that LeBron James beat his ass because you know why? The NBA was out on a fucking hit list. You know what that hit list was? We can't have LeBron James be the biggest bust we've ever seen. You remember Skip Bayless that year? He said if LeBron James don't win the title, he's going to be the biggest bust the NBA's ever seen. So the NBA had to bring out the goons, i.e. the refs, to ensure that Kevin Durant didn't even go to the free throw line. And the 50, 40, 90 walking gazelle, just like I Ether and Merc RB, whatever the fuck his name breakthrough, because I Ether and Merc cats. You come after me, I'm gonna Ether and Merc you. I have 1,000 traps, just like I'm putting your ass in a Jay-Z 4-finger lock right now. You don't even know what's happening. Bottom line is this: when we sit here and we look at the totality of it, Kevin Durant averaged 32 PBGs, 50% from the field. And he did this without going to the free throw line. Do you know how sick that is? Could you imagine if he had his 12 to 16 touches? This man would have been averaging 50 fucking points in the NBA Finals, a feat even higher than MJ. So what are you fucking talking about here, man? LeBron James was given that, and that's how he was saved. That's a savior right there. But when we sit here, look at LeBron James, we're going to do the history line real quick. Went to the NBA Finals the first time against San Antonio Spurs. Hey, y'all was talking shit. He beat the Detroit Pistons, man. He's the shit. What ends up happening? He nuts that fucking shit up. Then he turns around and goes to the NBA Finals against the Dallas Mavericks. The chosen one became the frozen one. And he told you, Jalik, and you're still a LeBron tart after he told you that. He said, I'm going to go back to my life. Y'all going to have to go back to y'all miserable lives and live it. Y'all still became LeBron tart. You see how much of a brain full of mush and brainwash and therefore and thereby dodo head y'all are? Then LeBron James, fast forward the motherfucker, he went to the 2014 and lost that motherfucker and blamed it on the AC. Are you fucking kidding me? This supposed to be LeBron at the height of his powers and lost that motherfucker. Then don't get me started how many times he lost to the Golden State Warriors. But this is the guy that you're telling me is the GOAT? Yeah, he's the GOAT, all right. He's the greatest of all fucking trolls. He's lost too many fucking times. So why don't you start telling the truth about LeBron James in that aspect? That he knows how to lose. He knows how to lose. He knows how to lose.
So shout out to HeKnows HisSport.
And I want to just say this real quick, because Soha said this bullshit here. He said Pippen almost made it to the finals without Jordan. Are you fucking kidding me?
Eastern Conference.
Oh, hold on. Pippen almost made it to the finals without MJ. So what about Dwayne Wade? Dwayne Wade won the fucking finals without LeBron James, the guy that gave LeBron James the NBA Finals championship. So
Pippen was not in the Eastern Conference Finals. He went to the
gotta cancel LeBron fucking tards.
The
You always gotta cancel them motherfuckers. But here's the thing, Richy. You always gotta cancel LeBron tards. Because even listen. Even if you want to run with that lie, even though we know they're lies. Here's the caveat here. LeBron had to play with a guy that already won a Finals MVP. That's ether right there. So
they lowering the bar.
Rush. He had to go play with Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade already was a Finals MVP. And where's Dwayne Wade from? Tom Ross TV. You should know this. He's from Chi-Town. He had to go play with a real one from Chicago.
Hey, these LeBron fans giving themselves rope. They're gonna hang themselves. They're giving themselves the rope.
Ethan murk his ass, dog. They don't even know what the fuck they talking about. Go ahead, Richy Rich. Ride on them a little bit.
Y'all never answered. It's all good. I'll come back on the next topic, bro. Y'all.
Nah, Richy Rich gonna ride a little bit. Then you can keep asking dumbass questions.
Witness there. Y'all can't answer no questions. It's all good.
Nah. And then we can't handle the questions.
Man,
you asking nonsensical questions.
You gotta go on your savior talk. You keep coming up with this Jordan, Phil Jackson, and Scottie Pippen. Listen, man, how many saviors has LeBron James had? How many saviors have LeBron James had? Come on, man. I could count on two hands the saviors this dude has had, bro.
Playoffs in Washington.
Huh?
And I got two questions for you. Why he didn't make it to Washington? But before you ask that question, break down your definition of an excuse. Because
hold up. So you want to talk about? Let me answer this question. Go ahead, Richy Rich. Go ahead.
I can tell you why Jordan didn't make the playoffs in Washington. You ready for my answer, Jalik?
I don't know witness that. Y'all never let me finish, bro. All right, man.
No, go ahead. I want you to get your saying. Go ahead, bro.
Quarter rats, exactly. You can do it either way because 1,000 years from now, people want to listen to you, and we want the truth. Your legacy goes beyond just making kids. So, what is your definition as an excuse, and how would you relate that to somebody if you was like raising them or a young guy growing up? How would you define what an excuse is? And also, can you explain why the greatest of all time didn't make the playoffs when he went to Washington Wizards? Go. You understand?
Are you choking? Doing that? Let me clear my throat. Damn, dog.
When you want to answer
you like that? Oh, my bad.
Listen.
Go ahead, Richy.
All right.
What's your definition of an excuse, Richy?
That's why Jordan didn't make the playoffs with that Washington Wizards team that first season because he was the way that they were trending, they were on pace to make the playoffs. Jordan got hurt in the season. He hurt his knee, and he had to have his knee drained 2 times in the season. and he had to shut it down. Jordan was 38, man. He's an old man returning to basketball, high competitive basketball, in which he had that team in playoff position. I believe at that point they were 8th seed and they were winning games. Jordan got hurt because he had to have his knee drained twice, man. He had a bum knee. Also, Jordan didn't make no alterations to the team. If this was LeBron James, we already know what he's gonna do. He's a schemer. Jordan is a competitor. He's the guy that when he comes to a situation, he likes to measure his barometer. He likes to see what he can do with trash. Chris Whitney, Heidi White, Richard Hamilton at that time was trash, though. Richard Hamilton was a jittery, nervous player with a wet nose, wet behind the ears. If this was LeBron James, LeBron would have traded at least 3 guys on that team.
And don't forget Kwame Brown.
Kwame Brown, a bust. And listen, I can't lie. Jordan has a bad eye for talent, for selecting a top tier talent in the draft. He's done a horrific job. Jordan's a great player now, but his eye for talent is bad. Maybe it changes with this LaMelo Ball kid. Who knows? We'll see. But
he's smoking mirrors too.
Yeah, he could be smoking mirrors. This old boy be talking some crap. But
smoking fucking mirrors.
MJ, man, listen. There's only so much you could do with that type of talent he had on that team at that age. Jordan clearly wasn't the player he was when he was dominated on the Bulls. If LeBron would have did what he did with the Lakers, his first year with the Lakers, he would have shut it down, and he wouldn't have came back because he would have seen Chris Whitney, Heidi White, Kwame Brown, Rip Hamilton at that point was not a good player, man. He was a very nervous player, and he was very nervous playing with Jordan because Jordan was on his ass. I remember that. I remember that year. You gotta understand, Jordan didn't make no changes to that Washington Wizards team. If it was LeBron James, LeBron James would have made changes, and then he would have put himself in position to be successful with that team. Jordan didn't put himself to be successful with that team. Jalik, I just answered your question. That's why he didn't make.
Let me answer his question. Hold on. Let me answer your dumb question. Richy Rich was being nice. I'm gonna be cutthroat. I'm gonna be ether with the shit. The fact that you have to go out there and reach to a Michael Jeffrey Jordan that retired from the game of basketball and came back, that's sad. That's a typical outlier. This is what LeBron tards have to do. They have to fucking reach. You got to go and get a 38-year-old Michael Jordan. You, Jalik, if you have any kind of brain, which I think you have common sense, but I'm going to test it right now because if you don't showcase the common sense, then I'm going to have to take it back from you. Anybody that's 38 years old in basketball, you know that's well past your prime, right? Do you even know what basketball prime is for any basketball player? Let me educate you, motherfuckers. A lot of motherfuckers don't know this shit. A basketball player's prime is when they enter into the age of 26, and that shit tapers off by the time of 32. MJ's 6 years removed from that shit. And you mean to tell me you're going to reach that far because you want to prove a fucking point about LeBron James? See, this is how bad LeBron James is. This is where Tom Ross is talking about when he says greatest loser of all time. You got to reach to that point to make a point about LeBron. Everything about LeBron is basically guff-a-fo. In his iteration, is greatest loser of all time. In my iteration, it's greatest finals failure of all time. And the reason why guff-a-fo and gloat stands is because when you look at LeBron James, that's all you see. A guy that has lost so many times. And you know, I get it. 97% of you motherfuckers, dude, look at these names, man. This tells you what the problem is. Look at this. So high, you're probably smoking weed like a motherfucker right now. Listen to these names. These names, y'all need to change these fucking names because y'all making yourselves look bad. Jaliktheleader. Look at these fucking names. These names tell you that these guys here are something's wrong with them. If I'm looking at their names, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with these Rudy Plum Plum right? What the fuck is wrong with these classic Dolce and Troglodytes? What the fuck is wrong with these ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetoric? Look at the name. Dude Light.
They got you on
This is because when you look at LeBron charts and you look at LeBron fans, let me tell you what's synonymous with all of them. They are participation award recipients. These are motherfuckers, Richy Rich in life, that have been mediocre. They were mediocre with chicks. They couldn't bang fucking chicks. I'm telling you, there's a synonymous thing with LeBron tards. They are mediocre with chicks. They don't get laid. That's why they always mad and they spew and hate. Hate comes from the fact that you can't get a nut off. And the more you keep building that shit up, the more you're like, ah. So you always got some shit to say. You look at the hate on LeBron. These are motherfuckers that sitting here in front of a Pornhub jacking they fucking rabbit beta asses off because they can't get fucking laid. Because Kobe fans, MJ fans, Kevin Durant fans like Kevin Durant's synonymous term. What does Kevin Durant say? I do me and I chill. Dog. That's what they do. They do them and they chill. Because real recognizes real. You had to reach all the way to a 38-year-old guy that was well already removed from the game, retired, to prove your point. Come on, Jalik.
He knows
that's lame. That's not even a point to bring up.
He knows.
Come on, man.
Jalik has a question he wants you to answer. Can you answer Jaliktheleader's question about Jimmy Butler, please?
What question about Jimmy Butler?
Right on the screen. You see it. Answer Jaliktheleader's question, please.
What the fuck does that have to do with what you asked about Michael Jordan?
Just answer the question.
This is what I'm talking about. He got Ethan and Merck about Michael Jordan. Now you bringing another outlier. Jimmy Butler pushed the Miami Heat to 6, bruh. In a fucking NBA bubble title, a Mickey Mouse title. LeBron should be ashamed of himself.
Let me answer Jalik's question.
Should he get credit?
Let me answer Jalik's question. Let me answer Jalik's question real quick.
And I got another
question
too. Yeah, okay.
You know why Jimmy Butler's not going to get credit? Because I know you saw what those NBA executives said about the Miami Heat during that bubble title. They said that with the situation that just happened with the COVID-19, they didn't believe that the Miami would have made it to the finals in a normal setting. That tells it all. That answers your question. All that NBA executives didn't respect the Miami Heat. This is what I was telling you about. LeBron gets all the credit because he wins that bubble title. But they take a dump on the Miami Heat. They say Miami Heat wouldn't have got there if it was a normal NBA setting, right? You see what they did to the Miami? And if Miami Heat won that championship, they would have dissed them too. They would have said that there's no way Miami Heat would have won that championship, would have won this thing if it was the normal thing. If they would have had to go and travel, playing other stadiums with fans, there's no way the Miami Heat would have won in that type of setting. Yeah, this whole thing was a fluke. How come them NBA executives pissing on the Miami Heat? Oh, Miami Heat wasn't good enough to get there. They only got there because of COVID-19. But when we talking about LeBron, LeBron would have did this, he would have did that. Yeah. Get that crap out of here.
That's it.
Yes.
Hey, before you even run your rabbit ass mouth, I'm gonna say this. Jay's gaming channel. LeBron under 500 in the finals. Dude is a glorified role player. I like that one, though. He went in. I said exactly Jay's gaming channel. Then I went up under here. LeBron is under 500 in NBA finals. He is a bum and a glorified role player. Yeah. If he is everything you guys say that he is, I have to agree emphatically with Jay's gaming channel. How the hell you have all of the stacking of the cards of the decks and you end up 40%? Go ahead, Jalik.
I got a question for you. He knows his sports. I got two questions. Tell it, because a lot of people don't know basketball. Fortunately, I know about basketball. Can you explain the difference between free agency and how the NBA was moving back in the 80s when Jordan was playing? And also, you brought up a point where you said it's a team sport, but when LeBron James does things to improve the sport, you hold it against them. I'm not sure what that word is called, but I would like you to speak on those two things.
I'll tell you. When in the 80s, when free agency was ran, free agency was actually ran the right way. I wish NBA could run that rabbit ass rat hole right back to the way it was in the 80s. You know why? Because in the 80s, they made sure there was parity. In the 80s, they made sure that you got drafted on the fucking team you got drafted on, and they gave you what they can give you only when the time was up. There wasn't a clutch sports. There wasn't an LRMR where you double dip and doing illegal shit where you are the player, but you're acting like you're just a player when you run your fucking clutch sports. If you look up clutch sports, I want y'all to go do your homework on it. You know that shit say LeBron Basketball? That's the parent company. This is why I don't know why they don't sue Clutch Sports. I looked it up. I looked up the business articles that was created in Cleveland. because the shit was created in Cleveland, Ohio. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. The shit says LeBron's company. Why is LeBron not being sued right now? Anyone that's listening, if you got powers, if you're the powers that be, why y'all not suing this motherfucker?
Or the question is,
how can you sit here and double dip? How can you sit here and be a player and run? Because players can't run they can't be running free agency at the same time. They can't be an agent and a player. How can you have a company that falls under your banner where you're running free agency and at the same time you're a player too? You see, in the 80s, to answer your question, none of that bullshit and that fuck shit was happening. Players actually had to play in a contract until they were a free agent. All of this clause, unrestricted free agent clause, and all of this opt-out clause, none of this shit existed. You ran your fucking course all the way through your contract until your contract was up. And then when you was a free agent, you got a chance to pick wherever the fuck you wanted to go. Basketball needs to go back to that shit, because since they've allowed LeBron James to do the cheat coding system of what Jalik's trying to prove a point. See, I'm 8 miling you right now. I'm not even giving you the opportunity to come back. Because what happens is this. When you have the system the way LeBron James has devised it, then guess what? It fucks the whole thing up because it doesn't even allow parity. Do you know how many teams were competitive in the 80s in both the Western and the Eastern coast? Do you know why it was like that? Because they did it the right way. They didn't have all of this. We're going to stack up all of these fucking teams together with LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. That's when basketball went to shit. When LeBron James could sit there throughout the season talking to Dwayne Wade, talking to Chris Bosh, which should have been illegal as fuck to do, and then they get together and they do their thing. It wasn't like that back in those 80s. They had to wait in the offseason for them to get together and talk. That's when they had to wait. Because motherfuckers was watching. And then at that time, they were already competitive. They didn't want to play with each other. They were too busy trying to beat each other.
Did they have
people didn't murk again.
He knows his sport. Did they have cell phones and the internet back then?
Even if they did have cell phone and internet, it's a mindset. Cell phones and internet can't change their mindsets. No, they did. No, they did. They did.
You think technology increases the speed on the way people communicate?
No, that has nothing to do with it. See, that's that outlier slick stuff that I'm gonna kill, because it ain't even about that. It's about mindset.
No,
those guys at that time were too busy trying to kill each other. But they weren't trying to be buddied up. What are you talking about?
Sport. You said it's a team sport, ain't it? So if you playing during this era, don't you think you need to make the adjustments that you need to make to better your team?
But how's it a team sport when you're stacking up your own team to go up against all of these teams that are completely obliterated? Do you know when LeBron James? No, I'm gonna say this. When LeBron James picks up Dwayne Wade, right? When Dwayne Wade, when LeBron James leaves Cleveland, Cleveland is decimated. When Chris Bosh leaves Toronto Raptors decimated. You know that's exactly what happened. Those teams went to shit, and then now you have one team, the Miami Heat. So what are you talking about? This is why this shit don't work.
Your savior, Michael Jordan, left the Bulls and they was still good.
Man, you talking Rudy Pool and plum brain shit.
Thing got out of business. Listen, the boy from Akron is better. It's just better. He's a better winner. You know what I mean? Just look at that.
Like Joseph Selbook said, dang Heat and they're fired.
Here we go. Jordan leaves and they still successful. LeBron leaves, they down there go out of business, and nobody goes to the games, and the tickets is like $5 for floor seats. That's the difference between the boy from Akron and Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Michael Jeffrey Jordan is a good player, but like y'all never answer what an excuse is. Y'all double talking, y'all step over there. I know what it is. You need your lawyer, Richy. Y'all work on teams. Get on a witness stand, and Rich don't help you up. You start freezing up.
Nah, I never freeze up. Against you, I don't freeze up. Listen, Jalik, you've been watching me forever. I don't freeze up against nobody. No, and I mean nobody. Nobody can make me freeze up. At worst, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, at worst, it's a stalemate. That's it. I don't freeze up.
What?
Can't nobody make me freeze up.
You explain.
And you of all people are making me laugh right now.
If Jordan was the GOAT, why his team was still winning when he left? But then LeBron left.
Look, what is this guy talking about? That means you're talking Rudy Poo and plum brain stuff. That's what they telling you. Classic though. You want me to answer to your level when you talking that garbage, dog. You talking that dodo head stuff, man. You ain't giving us nothing.
Don't help him. Don't help your client out right now. I want to answer that. We talking.
Yeah.
Go.
Listen, I never freeze up, though. That's one thing with me, and I never get ethered and murked. Bottom line is this: all you doing is making noise. This is the problem, Richy Rich. LeBron tars make noise. They don't tell you facts. They make noise.
Skip, you
felt good that you made noise? You felt good about it? It made you feel good. It made you feel good that you was able to throw an outlier out there and it keep getting ethered and murked. You felt good about it? Now, higgity hush.
You'll get better, though. I'm sure y'all will go over the notes and come up with some strategies.
So High 34, there's plenty of LeBron tards on my channel. You know why? Because LeBron tards are secret HeKnows HisSport fanboys. They know HeKnows HisSport's telling the truth. That's why y'all motherfuckers lurk around. Y'all not lurking around because HeKnows HisSport is your buddy. We ain't fucking buddies. It's because y'all motherfuckers know I'm telling the truth. And y'all low-key agree with it. Every time you comment, every time you lurk your rabbit ass around, you low-key agree with it. Look, that's why Conrad LV said facts and double facts, because it's truth. Yeah, all y'all motherfuckers, man, all of these Rudy Poor Plum Brain, classic Dolce and Troglodytes, ultra fanboy with the ultra fanboy rhetoric, LeBron tars. They know what I'm saying is the truth. So they want to keep trying to come back and keep trying to prove me wrong. But you can't prove the truth wrong. Because you try to prove the truth wrong, like Jalik is doing, you end up in erroneous ways. LeBron James has went to the NBA Finals 10 times, Jalik. He's won 4. You can't talk your ass up out of that. That's 40%. And that's Lele. Kevin Durant owns LeBron James. 2 out of 3. 9 out of 13. Overall, you can't talk your ass out of it. That's why when RB, whatever the fuck his name, breakthrough, I don't give a flying fuck, tried to think he could come after me. You tried to come after HeKnows HisSport. And I know I hurt a lot of people's feelings because this guy was their folklore hero. But this is the problem. You come after HeKnows HisSport, you're going to get ethered and murked. And I don't give a fuck who you are because I'm the final authority on basketball. I already told you this shit, Jalik. That's why when you saw that video the other day, you was like, fuck. This nigga HeKnows can't be fucked with. And you think what you doing right now? And this is me juggling. I'm telling y'all, I was killing this nigga. Tom Ross TV will tell y'all, I was killing this nigga while I was at work. And that means this nigga didn't even get 5% of my fucking time.
Listen,
could you imagine if I locked in? If I locked in, he would have been crying. He would have been fucking crying.
Knows and Richy Rich, you got your lawyer Richy Rich. I'm by myself, and I'm still got
no, because when you talking, you're not doing anything. You just popping smoke. That's all you doing, popping fucking smoke.
You never said what an excuse is. You never answered that. You're done. The truth is already out there. 1,000.
No, it's the truth.
They don't know, but it is.
What's the truth? What's the truth?
It is what it is, bro.
Yeah, you just ran your rabbit ass mouth. That's the truth. That's why motherfuckers are lurking around this channel because they're like, damn. But Richy Rich could have told y'all. Richy Rich Ben was trying to tell y'all that I know HeKnows for 38 years, and HeKnows will make the biggest motherfucker that's sitting on the throne bend the proverbial fucking knee, because I don't bend the proverbial fucking knee. I make motherfuckers bend the proverbial fucking knee. That's the way I roll. Put your ass in a fucking 4-finger lock. That's what I do. Tom Ross know the reference, wrestling. Now I'm gonna leave it at that. I'll fold your ass like a fucking pretzel. Richy Rich knows the reference. I'll leave it at that. Fold your fucking ass like a pretzel, make you bend the proverbial fucking knee. This is what I do to motherfuckers, man. I do this shit in my sleep. All day, every day. And see, what y'all don't realize, y'all 6 to 12 months late to the party. And you know why you 6 to 12 months late to the party? Because people like Jalik running a rabbit ass mouth, coming up with outliers, not coming with cold-hearted, unadulterated, cutthroat, truth-telling fashion. You know what it is? LeBron James has been ethered and murked by Kevin Durant. And see, you LeBron tards, because LeBron James, and this proves why LeBron James has so many people bought and paid for on the system, on the payroll. Because if this wasn't the case, LeBron James wouldn't have had this title of best player. How the fuck do you have that title of best player in the NBA after Kevin Durant back-to-back? He Drake to Meek Mill your fucking ass.
I got a question about Kevin Durant.
Come on, man. Shut the fuck up with that.
Can you break down how when Russell Westbrook got hurt that year and they filled in with Reggie Jackson, why didn't Why didn't OKC go too far in the playoffs when Russell Westbrook got hurt that year? Can you break that down?
No, I can't break that down. You know why I can't keep breaking that down, Jalik? Because this is the problem. This is the problem. Let me tell you why I can't break that down. Because you know what you do? You realize you don't have an answer for LeBron, right? Because you realize you don't have an answer for LeBron. So you know what you do? You create outlier questions. Everything with you is a question. What the hell? You can't make emphatic statements. You see, this is what I realized with LeBron Tars. Richy Rich, LeBron Tars have nothing but questions. LeBron Tars can't even answer you with emphatic statements. Here's an emphatic statement for your ass. Kevin Durant owns LeBron James with a 67th percentile NBA Finals average. Here's an emphatic statement for your ass. Kevin Durant owns LeBron James 9 for 13 overall, 70 percentile, runs his rabbit ass. Like Draymond Green said, man, he dominated LeBron James in those NBA Finals. Like Steve Kerr said, he made LeBron James look like a fucking fucking doll. There you go, Jay's Gaming Channel. Smack LeBron Tice with a 35 crook a little, and the damn shot in his damn face, man. Mr. Anti-LeBron. That's why you see once Kevin Durant came back, they tried to get on Kevin Durant, boy, because he restored the natural order of basketball. This ain't no NBA bubble title. This ain't no Ready Player One. Get your motherfucking virtual reality goggles off, man. This is reality here. This is an NBA real title. And they know Brooklyn is coming. And you know, like Biggie said, Biggie didn't ask a question. He made an emphatic statement. Where Brooklyn at? Where's Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Guess what? Brooklyn's coming for that ash.
He knows his sports. Can I ask your lawyer a question, Richy? Can I ask your lawyer, Rich, a question? Can you break down the level of competition? Let's talk about this. You got Muggsy Bogues with Charlotte, Muggsy Bogues with Washington. Who else was guarding Jordan back then as far as the athleticism and the skill level back then? I know the rules was different. It was much more harder sport, but the level of competition, who do you think is playing in a better level of competition in the 80s with Muggsy Bogues at point, or right now with guys like Steph Curry at the point? And I know they had Isaiah Thomas, but Isaiah Thomas said that he owned Jordan, which is true. He only lost that one time. So the level of competition right now, would you say is better or worse than it was back then? Because nobody agrees with you that Muggsy Bogues is better than
So if you're using Muggsy Bogues as your bar or your barometer, shut the hell up, man.
Okay,
go ahead, dog.
Listen, I'm gonna eat the delete. Was it Isaiah Thomas? Wasn't Isaiah Thomas Jr. In MVP consideration a few years ago at 5'8"? That tells you how hard the league is falling. Muggsy Bogues. Okay, no, he was not. He was better than that, right? Isaiah Thomas Jr. was third in MVP voting at 5'8". He had Boston Celtics won 60 games, dog, with this man leading that team. Would a player like that be able to do that in the past?
Who was he facing?
How physical the game was?
Who was he facing in the Eastern Conference back then?
Don't make me fuck.
No, because it's a lot of lies out there to say the competition was better, but it wasn't better. It wasn't better. It was different rules with the referee. The level of competition was garbage.
Right.
It was.
Listen, man, I snuffed you out, man. Listen, there's no way a player like Isaiah Thomas Jr. would be in MVP consideration in the past, bro. No way. The game was a lot more physical. The game was different back then.
Better players.
Stephen Curry, Curry wouldn't be that
foul more.
Maybe hand check.
That don't
foul more. Nah, man.
That don't make it better.
Listen. All players are now. Let
me ask you this, Lord. Attorney at law. Make sure you put your website up there, Rich. And I know you got HeKnows HisSport as a client. I'm not sure who else you work. You know what? Ty Ross is another one of your clients. But check this out. Let me name a guy from the 80s that was dealing, or the early 90s that was better than John Wall. Let's start with this. Who has the better competition? Name somebody better than John Wall from the 80s and the 90s.
Isaiah Thomas.
Rod Strickland.
Isaiah.
So Rod Strickland was better than.
You say 80s or 90s? Isaiah Thomas.
80s. Isaiah Thomas. Okay, Isaiah Thomas.
Whoa, he had that Cassidy moment when I said Isaiah Thomas. Look at Richard. Hey, Richy Rich, you remember the Cassidy in the freeway? He had that freeway moment.
Yeah.
Let me clear my throat.
I got another one. For him. Terrell Brandon. You remember him, right? On the Cleveland Cavs?
Ooh,
Terrell
yeah,
Brandon was better than John Wall.
Exactly.
Bro. Is Terrell Brandon?
You don't forgot about
Hey, John Wall is nothing but a disappointment, man. Hey, hush, dog.
Come on now.
Okay.
Damon Stoudemire was better than John Wall, dog. Come on now.
Damon Stoudemire came into the league in 1995, so he only played 1 year with Jordan. So you're not playing the game fair, bro. He was Isaiah Thomas was young back then.
You said pick somebody in the 90s, man.
You know
there you go. Monty Brown TV got on your ass. The league is smoking dope. This era is soft. That's it.
Just like about just because somebody fought 15 rounds, don't make them better. Listen, let's break
John
down.
Wall can't even hit a reliable jumper, man. Come on now. Stop playing.
John Wall and Bradley Beal are the equivalent of trash meets trash.
That Jordan
they are smoking fucking mirrors, man. Don't get me started.
Jordan was playing against that's better than John Wall.
We just told you. I said Isaiah Thomas. You choked when I said that.
Guess what? And guess what his record was against Isaiah Thomas except for one season? Trash. That's what we're talking about. Trash.
John Stockton.
Besides Isaiah Thomas.
Man, don't get me started. Gary Payton would lock up John Wall and run circles around his ass, man. Jason Kidd would dribble the fuck out of John Wall's life, man. Don't get me started, man. Don't get me started. You, John Wall, use an elite point guard. Say Derrick Rose or something. You're going to say John Wall. That tells me your basketball level. Say Derrick Rose or something, man. Come on, man. Get lethal with it.
Name somebody 4 times a year that they was playing. Homeboy came in 94, so they only played 2 seasons with Jason Kidd. Homeboy came in 1990 in the West Coast. They only played.
Higgity fucking hush, though.
Gary Payton, listen, Gary Payton is like, first of all, in today's, he probably wouldn't. He would come off the bench, bro. He can't even shoot, and he always got his back against the wall. He slowed the game down. He won't even be able to play in this era of basketball.
You talking out your rabbit ass, dog. You talking out your rabbit ass.
But he wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't work for him. He can't shoot like that. Even John Wall could shoot. I just brought that.
So we got Russell Westbrook.
Listen. Gary Payton would lock up John Wall. Lock his ass up. Hold him like a fucking pretzel.
So Russell Westbrook,
Mitch Richmond would dominate John Wall. Tim Hardaway, dog. Don't get me started. You said 90s AI. Don't even let me say Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson would embarrass John Wall, man.
Delete. You keep giving yourself rope and hang yourself, man.
That's why I say you keep drowning, dog. You keep drowning.
And Russell Westbrook is in this league right now. Come on, bro.
Who was the point guard? He was getting beat by Ricky Pearson, right? In the Milwaukee Bucks. That's the only playoff game he got. He was losing to Ricky Pearson, Cummings, and them, right? Ricky Pearson
in the 80s and the 90s, Jalik, the way defense was played, and especially in the playoffs, all of these new school players would be fucking bona fide role players. They'd be lucky if they make the team. That's how lethal it was back then, man. These guys right here, this is a dumbed down NBA. That's why LeBron James was able. Anytime LeBron James is able to go to 8 straight NBA finals, that tells you the league is already dumbed down. There's nothing about the league that's Kobe Bryant. If you go look at what Kobe Bryant did in the Western Conference Finals, it was short of impressive, man, against the level of competition that he had to face in the NBA playoffs. People forget Kobe Bryant did all the heavyweight lifting, and then he gave it to Shaq for the finals. And then when Shaq left, Kobe Bryant had to do all of the fucking heavyweight lifting himself. I know LeBron fans are bringing in social media because that's all they can fucking do.
Yes, listen, you know they're bringing social injustice, social media.
Hey, yo, where's Spencer though?
That's all they can bring. Because if you talk about LeBron, you have to talk about how many times he's lost in the NBA Finals. When you talk about LeBron, you have to talk about how LeBron is a loser. When you talk about LeBron, you have to talk about how LeBron is a love participation award creator. That's right. Participation award winners like you that just want to get to the dance, don't want to do no heavyweight lifting, don't want to do no real work. We get it. We fucking get it.
You got to play against Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, Kevin Durant, Westbrook, Kyrie Irving, all these guys, but then you got to play against Ricky Pierce back then in the 80s, and then Tom Chambers. And y'all talk about these.
LeBron James is overrated. LeBron James is a Rudy
I'll give you another point guard.
LeBron James a classic though than a troglodyte, and he's an ultra fanboy with the ultra fanboy rhetoric on the basketball court. Go ahead, Richie. Man.
It's time.
Close this shit out.
Kevin Johnson was better than John Wall, man. Come on. And this is a point guard that Jordan faced in the final.
Thank you.
It's nice. I
Thank you.
But he not Damian Lillard. Listen.
Thank you.
Tom Chambers. Listen. Was Tom Chambers
White chocolate was better than John Wall on Sacramento Kings. White fucking chocolate. Giggity hush.
Listen, Lillard don't play no defense, man. What are you talking about? He only plays on one side of the ball.
Lillard's been revealed as what he is. An offensive guy who's a defensive pedestrian. Don't bring up Damian Lillard. All this shit you see Damian Lillard's doing is because there ain't nobody that can really lock his ass down. Gary Payton will lock and fucking key Damian Lillard. Put his ass in lock and fucking key. Lock and fucking key.
Anybody out there, don't listen to people. Watch the tape yourself and look at Jordan competition. Now the different, very intense. The rules back then better. Now it's a weak, like a pussy league. Now I ain't gonna lie, but level competition is much better now. You didn't have guys 7 feet playing point guard. You didn't have jokers back then. You had like Detlef Schrempf, he was 6'10". You had the guy with Sabonis. His dad played for Portland, but he was all hurt. Was all damaged by the time he came. So the level competition is way better. And guess what? 36 years old, the Bulls Akron winning chips. Man with his name when he left Cleveland.
Dude, did I fuck your chick? Dude, got a serious hard on for me, dog. Hey, whoa. We don't roll like that over here, dude. Like, we don't fucking roll like that over here, man. I think I banged your chick, dog. That's what I think happened. And you feeling some type of way about that shit, bro. You feeling some type of way. Got me feeling some type of way. Got me feeling some type of way. Guess what? Tonight she gonna be gargling the freaking balls. Go ahead.
But yeah, I'm not sure what other topics y'all was going to do, but y'all will learn one. But actually, you know what? Y'all won't learn. I'm not sure if you. I guess you think Tom Chambers is better than Anthony Davis and Marcus Aldridge. I don't know. It's all. You think Dan Marley better than Klay Thompson, don't you?
Are you serious? Jalik, that's why I have you on, because you are a LeBron tard that knows how to be a LeBron tard, man. I respect you. You know, I'm gonna say this, Jalik, and then we're gonna close out. I respect Jalik, the leader, because there's a lot of motherfuckers on YouTube that are fence straddlers, whether they have a YouTube channel or whether they just are in the comment section. They are secret LeBron fans, but then they also want to rep Kobe and Michael Jordan. You can't rep Michael Jordan and Kobe and also be a LeBron fan. You got to pick and choose. That's why I respect a So High 34. He's a LeBron tard, and I respect him for that. Dude Light, I know I banged your chicks. He's probably gargling the freaking balls right now. I get it, but you're a LeBron tard. Jaliktheleader, you're a freaking LeBron tard. I respect you guys because you're out and open. We know you look gargling the freaking balls, but you're out and open with that shit. It's motherfuckers that want to sit here and tell you they Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan fans and then tell you LeBron James in their top 10. That's fence straddling right there. Or tell you that LeBron James is he's deserving of the NBA championship when we know it's a fucking NBA bubble title. That's fence straddling right there. You got to pick and fucking choose. Over here, there ain't no 50-50. We are men and women with confidence, purpose, and abundance mindset. We lay on a bad pick. We double down on that bad boy with confidence and fortitude. That's what we do over here. Because half-truth motherfuckers, when it's all said and done, are liars. That's why I respect Jaliktheleader. He's not a liar. That's why I respect Richy. He's not a liar. That's why I respect Dude Light. Even though Dude Light, I'm banging your fucking chick, and I know I'm banging your fucking chick because of the way you feeling. Your energy is telling me I'm banging your fucking chick. Even though I'm doing that, and she's gargling the freaking balls, and matter of fact, she's eating the ass crack out at the same time too, and I get it. The bottom line is this. When it's all said and done, you are pure LeBron tard. And I respect you for that. If I don't respect you for nothing else, because you're a pure beta supreme. Let's not get it twisted. True alpha extraordinaires governed by true alpha economics cannot be intermingled with fucking pure beta supremes. But when it's all said and done, and it's all said and it goes through the wire, like Jethro Brodeen, when it's all said and done, we have to look at the cold-hearted, unadulterated, and cutthroat truth-teller fashion. You know what that is, guys? LeBron tards get the respect. Kobe and MJ fans get the respect. And fence straddlers that straddling across the fucking fence, you get no fucking respect. All right? Because if you're going to be a LeBron fan, be a fucking LeBron fan and be that shit to the T. Or if you're going to be a Michael Jordan and a Kobe Bryant fan, be that to the fucking T. You can't be both. That's why when I see KD and LeBron fan, that shit hurts my fucking head. Because how can you be a Mr. Do me and I chill and then you go for LeBron James? That's bullshit and fuck shit at its truest and its most properest levels, man. When it's all said and done, Richy Rich, it was real. Jalik, whatever the fuck, LeBron Tard, now I'm going to give you respect. Jaliktheleader, it was real. We eat it. We murked these cats. I would let Tom Ross, because I saw Tom Ross said, let me call in. I would let Tom Ross get off, but I got an appointment that I got to make too, so that's why I got to cut this thing short. Sunday, Tom Ross, we're going to be killing it again, so I'm going to have you on then. So it's been real. LeBron Tards were Ethan and Merck. Everybody was checked. Everybody was put in their damn place. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all donate to the platform. Make sure y'all do what y'all got to do. When it's all said and done, we bring you that heat and that fire. And we keeping a foot on the what? Next. We keeping a foot on the what? Next. This is HeKnows HisSport. Check it out.